So, dear friends, good evening. I'm very happy to be here with you this evening, and thank you, Emmy, for the invitation. My name is Sister Trai Nghiêm, and right now I'm zooming in from Plum Village Monastery in France, southwest of France. And before we start our sharing today, I'd like to invite all of us to practice a little bit of guided meditation. This is a tradition whenever we have a Dharma talk or any sessions when we gather in the hall. We practice 5-10 minutes of meditation together so that we can breathe together as one Sangha body, not as individual. And when we can breathe together, the collective energy of peace that we can generate is very, very powerful. And there's so much healing in that energy. So we can, each one of us can contribute to that energy, and at the same time we can all benefit from that collective energy. So let us enjoy a few minutes of guided meditation. So I cannot see you in the webinar format, but I'm assuming you're all sitting down. I hope nobody is like driving or walking. I hope you're sitting comfortably on a chair or on a sofa or even on the zafu cushion. I understand that many of you are experienced Buddhist meditators. So wherever you're sitting, you can relax your body, but sit with your back upright. So if you're sitting on a chair, you might like to sit towards the front part of the chair so you are not slouching in the back. Yeah, it will help you to breathe. It will open up your chest and your lungs so you can breathe with more comfort. And you can relax your shoulders. And if you like, you can close your eyes. You can relax your face. And with your two hands, you can leave them on your lap. Or if you want, you can put your hands on your belly if it helps you to feel your breathing more easily. And your 2 feet are firmly grounded on the ground, so no crossing legs. Both feet on the floor, so you feel very solid, stable. And we just breathe naturally through our nose, breathe in and breathe out. And I will read some sentences so we can just allow your breathing to follow the lines that you will hear. And then after the sentences are read, you will hear 2 keywords. And you can use those 2 keywords, the first keyword for your in-breath and the second keyword for your out-breath. And anchoring your breath, your mind, to the keyword that will help your mind not to wander around into the past and into the future. Okay, so please enjoy breathing together. We will start by listening to 3 sounds of the bell. And we can just let your body relax and allow the sound of the bell to penetrate into all the cells of your body. So when we listen, we don't only listen through our ears, but we listen with all of our cells in our body. Breathing in, I am aware of my in-breath. Breathing out, I am aware of my out-breath. In, out. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. Flower, fresh. Breathing in, I see myself as a mountain. Breathing out, I feel solid. Mountain, solid. Breathing in, I see myself as still water. Breathing out, I reflect all that is. Still water, reflecting. Breathing in, I see myself as space. Breathing out, I feel free. Space, free. Breathing in, I enjoy my in-breath. Breathing out, I enjoy my out-breath. In, out. So now you can open your eyes if you have them closed. Thank you for your practice of meditation. Somehow I don't see you on screen, and I know we are in different countries, but at the same time I could feel the energy that you produced. Also here, yeah, it feels much different from practicing by myself. So thank you for your beautiful practice. This is one of the guided meditation we often practice in Plum Village, and it's called the meditation to restore beauty in ourselves. And I understand that most of you are Buddhist practitioners, and as you know, yesterday was Vesak, so I think you know about Vesak, and I don't know if you had a chance to celebrate it. If you don't know, if you haven't heard of Vesak, which is kind of like Christmas, we celebrate the birthday of Buddha Shakyamuni as we celebrate the birth of Jesus Christ on Christmas. So also here in Plum Village, last Sunday, 2 days ago, we had opportunity to celebrate it together with all of the friends who are here in the retreats, as well as with 100 or 200 neighbors who came here to be with us. So on that day, in the morning, we come together. Every Sunday, we have what we call Day of Mindfulness. So we all come together to listen to a Dharma talk, to a teaching by one of our Dharma teachers. And after that, we normally have a practice of walking meditation. We practice walking meditation together as a Sangha. But Sunday, instead of walking meditation, we had the opportunity to celebrate Vesak. So we had a ceremony, we offered incense, and we chanted together as a community. And then we walk outside of the meditation hall slowly in a procession, taking one breath for one step. And then we arrive at Buddha statues. They are baby Buddha statues. They're very cute. And then there, the sisters prepare water with rose petals. And this is a tradition in many Buddhist countries. And then there's a ladle made of bamboo, and we scoop the water with the rose petals with mindfulness with both of our hands. And then with the water, we bathe the baby Buddha. And if you just do it as a ritual, it's actually kind of silly. Like, why are we bathing these dolls, you know? But actually, if you are able to really make that into the practice of mindfulness and take the opportunity to get in touch with our own mind of love, mind of understanding, which we call bodhicitta, to awaken that energy within ourselves, and also to water that energy, water that seed in ourselves. It's really a beautiful practice. It's a reminder for each one of us to know that in each one of us, we all have the capacity to wake up, to be a more awakened person. We say the Buddha Shakyamuni was a fully enlightened person. But each one of us, we also have the same capacity as the Buddha was also a human being. And as we practice each day, we can water that seed more and more, let the seed grow, so that slowly we can go from a part-time Buddha to a full-time Buddha. Yeah. And today I was invited to share about the engaged Buddhism in Plum Village Tradition. And I think many of you know our teacher, Thich Nhat Hanh, who recently passed away in Vietnam in January of this year. And so I'm sure many of you know about him, and many of you know about the history of engaged Buddhism. And today I have 1 hour to share about our practice. So I thought, instead of sharing the history of engaged Buddhism in our tradition, which you can find all kinds of information on our website, as well as on YouTube. We have just released last month a documentary film called A Cloud Never Dies. I will share the link later. If you haven't watched the film, it's a half-hour documentary about the life of our teacher, and you can also learn about how the engaged Buddhism was born during the time of war in Vietnam. So I thought of, rather than sharing all this information with you, I wanted to really offer you something that you can immediately take home and apply to your daily life. It's something you can practice in order to water that seed of awakening, to water the seed of bodhicitta in yourself. And something that's very, very simple to practice. And also because I've heard from Emmy that many of you are in your 40s or above, so I'm assuming many of you also have children at home, or maybe some of you are teacher, or or I'm sure you have contact with children. So I need to share with you a practice that you can not only do for yourself, but something you can share with our younger generation, with our children and teenagers. So the practice we just did, the guided meditation, we were in contact with the 4 elements of flower, mountain, water, and space. And this is a meditation our teacher created for children. It's called the pebble meditation. And when in the summer, we have a lot of children here in our monastery, and they practice with us. And what they do is they receive a little bag like this, and one day they go to find a pebble that they like, and we ask them to find 4 pebbles. And each pebble represents each quality that we just meditated on: flower, mountain, water, and space. And I want to show you this because I've just come back from a teaching tour to South America. For 6 weeks, we were in Colombia, Ecuador, and Costa Rica. And we also practiced this with the children over there. And one of our friends, she's about 10 years old. She drew these beautiful pictures on the pebble. And I'd like to share about how we can practice with these pebbles. So this one, I don't know if you can see well. This one, you can see flowers. She painted flowers on this pebble. So for children, we invite them to take a pebble in their hand. And then we invite them to practice guided meditation just as we did. Breathing in, I see myself as a flower. Breathing out, I feel fresh. And after taking 3 to 5 breaths, for kids we keep it short, not too long, after some breath, and they can really get in touch with the quality of flower. And then after that, we will put the pebble on the right side, and we pick the next pebble. But the reason why we contemplate flower is that we want to cultivate the quality of freshness in ourselves. I think all of us, when we were kids, we were very fresh. When we look at babies' faces, it just brings a smile to everybody's face, and just looking at them, they're so beautiful, very fresh. And I think we all had the quality, but somehow over the years, because we have to go to school, we have to study a lot, and then we have to work, find a job, and then we have to make a living, and we feel a lot of pressure and a lot of stress as we get older, and we have to think about our health and our family, and yeah, we end up with all kinds of worries, and slowly we lose that freshness. So we want to bring back the freshness that we have, because when we have that freshness of flower, that is the greatest gift we can also offer for our friends and family, our loved ones around us. when we are fresh, everybody wants to be near you. But if you're really grumpy and always complaining, have been looking grumpy, or easily irritated, and it's very difficult for people to be around you, and then you also don't feel comfortable to be with yourself. And the practice of Buddhism, it's about coming back to ourselves, coming back to our true nature, to be in touch with our true nature, finding our true home in ourselves, and to be completely at peace with ourselves. Because when we can feel that peace within ourselves, and when we can accept ourselves as we are, and we can love ourselves as we are, it's so easy to also love and accept others, and also to offer that piece of energy for others. So it's a really important practice. It sounds simple, and it may be even childish to say, okay, we are all fresh as a flower. But it is something that we should not underestimate. It's a very, very important practice that each of one of us can do every day as we wake up, maybe in the morning. And in order to cultivate the freshness, we have another important practice in the morning. In our tradition of engaged Buddhism, or we also call it applied Buddhism, we don't only practice meditation in the meditation hall. We start practicing as soon as we wake up in the morning. And all of us who are here, or the monks and nuns, we are trained with reciting gathas or poems. They're short poems that we recite that accompanies each one of our actions throughout the day. For we have a short poem to recite as we wake up in the morning, and as we make our first step, or as we make our bed, and when we go and brush our teeth, we recite the poem to stay in the present moment, to be aware of what we are doing. And this is a tradition, Zen tradition, that goes way, way, way back. But our teacher Thich, we call Thich Nhat Hanh Thich. Thich means teacher in Vietnamese. So Thich translated all these traditional poems that was written in Chinese into modern languages, so that we can recite them in English. And also, if you like to try them, they also exist in Dutch. You can find the book. It's called Present Moment, Wonderful Moment. You can find the book. It's a collection of poems. But today, we don't have so much time, but so I just like to introduce you the very first poem that we recite in the morning as we wake up. And it goes like this. Waking up this morning, I smile. 24 brand new hours are before me. I vow to live fully in each moment and look at all beings with eyes of compassion. So this is our training. As we wake up every morning, we come back to our breathing. We are aware that, yes, we are still alive. We still have a healthy body. And some mornings you feel tired. Maybe you didn't sleep so well. You didn't have enough time to sleep. Or you feel achy in your body. And maybe you don't feel that great the first thing in the morning. But we practice as we recite the poem. We practice to smile at ourselves. And when we smile, it naturally wakes up our body, and our body feels very happy. And we can take a moment to make a vow for ourselves that today I will do my best to live fully, to live mindfully, and to look at all beings with eyes of compassion. When we say all beings, it always starts with ourselves, to look at myself with eyes of compassion, to send myself the energy of love. And that's the vow that we make as we wake up every morning. And that really helps us to start our day with the right tone, to start our day with freshness. And maybe we cannot, all kinds of things happen in 24 hours. So maybe by the end of the day, we cannot keep the same kind of freshness, but at least we start our day that way, and then we can remember that we made this vow in the morning to be as fresh as we can for ourselves, so that we can enjoy our own company and also offer freshness, our smile and compassion to our loved ones. So that is the practice of contemplating being a fresh flower. And I think this one is a pink lotus flower, and lotus flower is very symbolic in Buddhist tradition, but you can pick your own flower. Think of your favorite flower. It could be rose or dandelion, whatever it is. Just think of a flower that you feel affinity with, and then just bring in that energy of beauty and freshness and beautiful fragrance in ourselves. So that's the first pebble after we meditate on the flower. The second one is the mountain. It looks like this. I don't know, I hope you can see. A mountain has the quality of solidity, and that's also a quality we all have and we want to cultivate. Sometimes things happen in our lives, and we feel the storm coming through our feelings and our mind. Strong emotions of sadness, anger, or despair. And sometimes we feel very overwhelmed. We don't know what to do with all these emotions. And often that's what motivates us to practice. We don't want to be overwhelmed. We don't want to feel out of control. We don't want to feel like we're a victim of these emotions. And that could be the motivation for us to practice meditation, so that we can be the master of our own feelings and of our own mind. But if we practice when that moment of storm comes, it's kind of too late. Like if you want to have a safe home where you feel protected at the time of a storm, you need to build that house before the storm hits, right? Like it's too late. In the middle of the storm, you cannot build that house. So we want to practice to cultivate this solidity, this stability, when nothing's happening, when everything's fine. So just spend 5 minutes every day cultivating the solidity. And how can we do that? We take refuge in our own breathing. Often when we feel strong emotion coming up, our energies appear in our head. So we want to practice to bring our attention to our belly. So whenever we are breathing, we are aware of our breathing, and we feel anchored, we feel firmly grounded in our belly breathing. And that's something we can do bit by bit each day, so it becomes our second nature. So when the storm hits, when something happens and we feel strong energy of anger or sadness in us, we can always come back to our belly breathing, and that could be a lifesaver. And that's something that's really important also to share with the young children. We know that more and more in the modern society, young children also suffer from strong emotions of despair, and sometimes they end up taking their own lives, or they suffer from depression. So if they know how to handle their strong emotions, they can really use their own power to save their own lives, to save themselves from being the victim of these strong emotions. So I hope you can practice this for yourself, and also share this practice with our children, with our young ones, with the teenagers. And one way, one image that we like to often use in order to practice this is to imagine a tree. And when you look at a tall tree in a strong wind, if you look at the top of the tree, you see the branches and leaves just waving like crazy, like even like if you look at bamboos, it's bending from right to left and looks like it's going to break. But if you come down and you look at the trunk of the tree, at the bottom of the tree, no matter how windy it is, how strong the storm is, it's not moving at all. So we are the same. If our energy is all up here and we are not grounded, we can get carried away right and left, and we can be thrown out of our body. But if we can bring our attention to our belly and also feel our feet as we practice walking meditation, feel our feet firmly grounded in the Mother Earth, and then we don't lose our solidity. We can be strongly anchored, and we feel solid, and we can entrust our own solidity, and we can take refuge in our own solidity. We don't need to take refuge in something else. We know we have enough power, enough strength to protect ourselves. And when we can do that, we can also offer that to those of our loved ones, friends and family, if they're dealing with strong emotions or dealing with a lot of challenges. We can be there for them. We can be somebody that they can take refuge in. So it's also a great gift that we can offer our loved ones if we can practice this, if we can cultivate this quality in ourselves. So that was the second pebble of mountain. And now the third pebble is still water that reflects everything as is. And here our friend, she drew the picture of a lake that's reflecting the trees and the beautiful full moon in the sky. So this is a very important quality we need to cultivate as a meditator, to have a very calm mind that reflects reality as is. Because when you look at the surface of a lake, when it's very windy and the surface of the lake is wavy, you cannot really see the reflection of what's around the lake. But when it's really calm, it becomes like a mirror, and you can take a photo of the water and it looks exactly like what you see all around the mountain and the trees and the sky. And our mind is just like that, and often our mind is agitated. We are full of thinking, full of perceptions, so we cannot see things as they are. When we are taking a walk and it's getting dark, and when we see a rope on the ground, we feel scared because we think, oh, there's a snake, but it's actually just a rope. Or when we're having a conversation, especially with those that we're close to, we think we know what they're saying because we think we already know how they are, how they think. And we're not really listening to what they're trying to say. We just hear what we want to hear. And that's how we start to have blocks in our communication with our family members, with our co-workers. So if we want to really understand everybody around us and to have better communication, to live more in peace and harmony with each other, this is a quality that we must develop. And we can only listen to others when we can listen to ourselves. And often we have too much thinking, so we don't even hear what's in our own heart or our body. Our body is often telling us so many things through aches and pains. It's giving us so many signals. Please take care of my body. My body is suffering because you're not eating, you're not consuming in a healthy way, or you're not sleeping enough, or you're spending too much time in front of the computer, etc. But our mind is so busy thinking, we cannot hear what our body is sharing with us. So we want to come back, first of all, to our own body, so that we can listen to what our body is telling us. And when we can listen to our body is calmer, more relaxed. We can also listen to our own heart, to our own aspiration, our own desire. What do I really want to do with my life? How do I want to spend my life? And this kind of conversation we need to have each day. Otherwise, in our days and months and years will go by just doing things. We were always chasing after things we feel like we have to do with all of these responsibilities, and spending all the time on our phones, social media, all kinds of things that we don't really need to be spending time on. And before we know, suddenly we are 60, 70, 80 years old, and we look back and we wonder, what happened to my life? So we want to really take care, and 24 hours that's given, like we recite in the wake up gatha, 24 brand new hours. That's a gift that we're given each day, and we want to use it wisely so we can use it really for what's important, what matters to us the most. Yeah, so this quality of still lake that reflects everything as is, that will reflect our mind, our body. And when we can do that for ourselves, and we can also reflect everything around us as they are, and that will also help us find better solutions for our problems. We will know what to do and what not to do. We will know what to say, what not to say, to help relieve the suffering, and also to bring more peace and happiness for everybody all around us. And after that, we go to the last pebble, the fourth pebble. This is, I think I'm holding it upside down. I think that's a full moon with birds flying with the clouds. This is the space. I think a friend, she drew a sky, evening sky, very beautiful. So the space, that's also a very important quality that we want to cultivate in ourselves. And I think often we want to love, we want to be more compassionate, we want to be a happy person, but what's preventing us from achieving that goal is that we don't have enough space. We feel too busy, we feel too much pressure, we have so many things we have to do, and we have ideas of how we have to be, what happiness is, so many ideas that blocks us from being free. So in order to have space, just like if you want to have a spacious home, what we need to do is let go of things, just empty out your house of things you don't need. And the most important thing that we can release from our mind is the idea of happiness, because we have so many ideas that we are installed with since we were small. In order to be a happy person, to be a successful person, you need to have this, you need to have that, you need to have this kind of career, you need to be this kind of person. Maybe you have idea of at a certain age, you need to find a partner, you need to be married and have how many kids, and you need to have earn this much money. And maybe all these ideas came to you through media, from your education, or from your parents. And all these ideas are actually blocking us from appreciating what we have, what we already have, because we already have so much and everything we need in order to be happy. But somehow it's never enough, so we are always chasing. And if we have everything, we have a great career, we have a family, and then after that we're just looking forward to the time of retirement so that you can release your career and have more free time to enjoy your life. So somehow we think happiness is always lying ahead of us in the future. There's a story, it's one of the sutras, the story from Buddha. One time he was having a midday meal with a group of monks in the forest. And then they saw one farmer, one man who came by feeling really distressed. And he stopped by the Buddha and the monks, and he asked, excuse me, have you seen my cows? I lost my cows. I think they might have gone this way. And the Buddha said, no, we haven't seen any cows go by. And the farmer was in despair. He said, oh, this year all the insects ate all my crops and I lost all my livelihood. And now all my cows ran away and I have nothing left to live. And he was really, really sad. And Buddha just listened, and I'm really sorry to hear about that, but I didn't see any cows go by here, so maybe you might want to look on the other direction. So the farmer left, and after the farmer left, Buddha turned to his disciples, to his monks, and said, we're so lucky we have no cows to lose. So we need to reflect again, and we need to take a moment to see what are the cows that we have that we need to release. Do we have a lot of cows that's making us feel tied and not feeling free? And if we are able to release all these cows, if we don't have them to begin with, and we don't have to worry about losing them. The problem is that there's nothing wrong with having material things and having houses and cars and all kinds of things. If they make us happy, that's great. But at the same time, more things we have, more worries we have, because one day we have to let them go. We have to release them. So the art of having material pleasure is that yes, we can enjoy them. We're not saying we have to release everything and live in an empty house. As nuns and monks, and here in monastery, we also have possessions. But can we still be free? Can we enjoy the presence of all these things that bring convenience and comfort to our lives? But are we slave to these things, or are we ready to just release them when it's time to release them? So that we don't become slaves, but we are still the master of our own life. That's how we feel freedom. And another way that we can cultivate more space in ourselves is to just expand our capacity to accept things as they are. There's a beautiful metaphor the Buddha used, is that when you have a handful of salt, and when you put that salt in a small bowl of water and you stir it, the water becomes so salty and you cannot drink it. But if you put the same amount of salt in a flowing river or in a big lake, we can still drink the water. So that is our aspiration, to expand our mind of love, to expand our heart, so that little things don't bother us, and little things about other people's personalities, their habit energies. Nobody is perfect, but instead of wishing other people to change, but if we can just focus on ourselves, and if we can learn to expand our heart, and then all the little things that come in our way, nothing will bother us. And then when we feel spacious, we can also offer that spaciousness to others. And that is also a great gift that we can offer to our loved ones. When we are together with a partner or with our children, and the kind of love that we offer them, if they don't feel free, they suffer. And I think we all know we also suffer when you know that somebody loves you very much, but if you feel like they don't give you enough space, if they have ideas about how we should be or what we should do, or how we're supposed to spend time together, we just feel like, oh, I cannot breathe. So if we love somebody, the best thing we can offer is a lot of space, so that person can just shine as they are. If you know the art of ikebana in Japanese tradition, when we arrange flowers, flower arrangement, you don't want to put a bunch of flowers together in a vase. We give a lot of space for each flower to shine. And naturally, each one of us, because each one of us is also a flower, that we need space to blossom, to shine, and for our best quality to come out, for each one of us to be the best version of ourselves. We need a lot of space. So that's something that we can offer to each other. So thank you for listening to this sharing about pebble meditation. And I would like to end this sharing with a song. And this guided meditation that we practice, it's also a song, and it's a song that we practice almost every day here in Plum Village. And we sing a lot of songs. A lot of our meditation have become songs, including sutras, because we want these messages to go deep into our consciousness. And when they are in the song form, it's very easy for us to remember the words. When we have to memorize something, it's very difficult. But as soon as they're put to a melody, they stay with us for a long time. And whenever we need to practice, the song will come up in our mind consciousness. So I'd like to share with you today the song of these 4 beautiful qualities that we can develop in ourselves. And now I'd like to invite my sisters here. I have 3 sisters here with us. And since we were sharing with our friends in Holland, they even took a moment to sing the song in Dutch. And I will add the lyrics to the chat box, so please sing along if you can. First we will sing in English, and then after that we will sing in Dutch. We will try to sing in Dutch, so maybe you can support us. Let me find the lyrics. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Put it in chat. There you go. So can you see? I will move. Let's see. You can come up a little bit. So I'd like to introduce to you my sisters. So this is Noemi. She doesn't have hair, but she is practicing to become a nun. So she's officially an aspirant. She's half Dutch, half French, and she was training us to sing this song in Dutch earlier. And then we have Sister Hien Tam. She's from Korea. And can you come closer so we can see you? And we have Sister Hyoduk from Hong Kong. And she will also be playing the guitar. Yeah. And these songs also go with gestures. And I don't know. We sing English first with the gesture. Yeah. So if you want to do the gesture, please join us. This might, if you've never had this Plum Village practice, you might think, oh, it's so childish, but actually we all need to get in touch with our inner child to cultivate the freshness. So this is also, it looks like a very simple practice, but it's a very deep practice. So please join us. Okay. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. Oh, one second, sorry. Apparently, I only put the. You don't see. Wait, you don't see this. Wait. Everyone, okay. Sorry, okay, now I think everybody can see the lyrics. Okay, one more time. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, breathing out. I am blooming as a flower go in Dutch. Thank you, dear sisters. Thank you well, Noemi. Okay, so I think we have 10 minutes left. If you have any questions, we can maybe take 1 or 2 questions at this time. I think you're welcome to write your question in the chat box, but now I have Noemi here, so you can either write in English or Dutch. I also have a Dutch translator. Okay, while we wait for the questions, I will share a couple of links with you. So I've spoken today about Vesak celebration, and our brothers and sisters, they have made last year for Vesak, they made a very nice little short clip that explains how we celebrate Vesak and what it means to us. So if you have a moment, there's a YouTube link you can watch. And let's see, and I also mentioned about the documentary film about our teacher's life and the birth of engaged Buddhism called A Cloud Never Dies. And so here is the link for that. And I'd like to also share with you in Plum Village, now we have every Friday we release a new episode of a podcast called The Way Out is In. It's hosted by the abbot of a Plum Village monastery. His name is Brother Phap Hu, and he's in dialogue with a journalist, Joe Confino. And I just share with you 2 links. There's one episode in which they talk about engaged Buddhism, since I heard you're having an engaged Buddhism month, and that is your theme for this month. I'd like to share with you the link, and as well as how we practice engaged Buddhism in the time of war at this time. So there are 2 episodes, and if you enjoy listening to them, you are welcome to subscribe and listen to more. So these are the 2 links. Okay. And one more link related to the Vesak is there's a beautiful chant that we chant usually for Vesak, and it's called Praising the Buddha. It's composed by one of our brothers, Brother Faplin, and the music is put to the text by our teacher Thai. And again, it is also a beautiful contemplation. It's about the still water reflecting and the space. So it's related to this meditation of cultivating stillness and spaciousness in ourselves. And this is a clip from the ceremony week we had after the passing of our teacher. And I'd like to also share with you this music. So it looks like, am I sharing with everyone the links? Okay, the links. Yeah, okay. It looks like, thank you for your comments. Yeah, no questions today. So I think if there's no questions, I think we can end. Will some of you travel to Holland again in the future? Yes, if you invite us, we are always happy to travel. A group of monastics, they just came back from Holland. So for the last 2 years, because of the pandemic, we had to stop our teaching tours. But this spring, we started going out again slowly. So some of us are in South America. A group was in Holland, group was in Italy, and all around France, Tour de France, and usually every year in the spring, that's where monastics go on tour. So if you like to come, if you like us to come to Holland, please send us your request in time. We need them by the end of the year to look at all the requests, because usually we receive a lot of requests and we have limited number of monastics.
That's
So
good to know.
hi, Sister Changkon. Yes, thank you for asking. The great news is Sister Changkon, she's doing very well, keeping it as busy as ever, and she is coming back to France this Friday. We are very, very happy to have her back here in Plum Village, and she will be here for all of the big retreats in June and July. And I believe for our summer retreat in July, we're fully booked this year, but we have a few more spaces left in a retreat in June. So if any of you is interested in attending our Plum Village retreat, we have a retreat starting on the 3rd of June. You are welcome to register, and you can also see Sister Changkon. She will be offering teachings. Okay. Do you give teachings on Zoom? Yes, so we continue to offer. Now that we've done a lot of online teachings during the pandemic, but now we are open again. We are receiving a lot of guests, so we are quite busy helping to run the retreats, on-site retreat. But we also want to continue our online presence, because we are aware that many of you are not able to come to Plum Village. So we offer a lot of teachings online. So just please check out our Plum Village website. If you go to the live page, you will see a list of teachings that's giving online, and most of our teachings also we offer them either live streamed on YouTube on our channel, or if they're not live streamed, we upload the talks later on. So please subscribe to our Plum Village YouTube channel so you receive the message. And also, if you're interested in our activities, you can subscribe to a Raft magazine, which is sent out by Thich Nhat Hanh Foundation. I think you can find the information on the website, or you can search Thich Nhat Hanh Foundation. You can subscribe to the newsletter, and you will receive once a week or once every 2 weeks with a list of all the events we are offering, both on-site and online. Am I allowed to release the cows after I milk them? Yes, yes, you can. That's very compassionate. You can milk them, or yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, but yeah, you can receive that. You can enjoy the milk from the cow, but we want to practice compassion for the cows as well. So we don't take everything, because the milk belongs to the calves, to the baby cows. So as human beings, of course, we can ask for permission to receive a little bit, but whatever we receive, we have this saying in Buddhism, as good practitioners, we enjoy the flowers like bees visit the flowers. Bees visit and enjoy the flowers, its beauty and its pollen and its nectar for a few seconds. But we don't take everything for ourselves. We share it with everybody, all beings. Okay, thank you for your message. And your personal gift online, personal online teachings. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, to personal online teachings, but we are a community of monks and nuns, and we do everything as a community, as a sangha. But at the same time, of course, sometimes certain skills are required for different teachings. Like if you say, oh, I need a Dharma teacher who can share the Dharma in Dutch, and that will go to our Dutch siblings. And I'm Japanese. I offer things for Japan, and then yeah, or I'm also a musician. So if you have special retreat and if you need special talk for musicians, and then I also I'm available. So yeah, we see what skills are needed for certain things, and that's how we divide our responsibilities. Yeah, so but if you have any requests for special kind of teachings, because we also do online teachings based on different affinity groups like healthcare professionals, business people, or rainbow group, or BIPOC group, etc. So whatever you have requests, you can always write to us, and we respond as much as our time and energy allows. Mm. Yes. The address, I think Emmy has the contact address, so you can always write to Plum Village Press page, or I can give you also at CPV Sebat. Wait, PV, what do you mean? So if you have any request for teaching or going on tours, you can also send your request to this email address. Are you vegans? Yes, we are. As a community, we have always been vegetarian, but in about 2007, I believe, around then, our teacher Tai, he did some research and realized that for the climate crisis, it's really helpful if we can all become vegan, and then also in considering all the suffering of the animals in the dairy industry as well. So we switched from being vegetarian to vegan. So everything we serve in the monastery is 100% vegan. But at the same time, we don't like to be too dogmatic about it, because that could also create suffering and tension. And we are in Europe, and many of us grew up eating cheese and yogurt and some dairy products, and also we don't want to force that on our children. So we, like in the summer, we have like ice cream meditation, and if we cannot find vegan ice cream, we also give kids normal ice cream. And all of us, from time to time, we have special occasion, we enjoy pizza or croissant, but we try to consume vegan food, plant-based food as much as possible in our community. And we also grow a lot of our vegetables here in our farms. We call them happy farms. And if you like gardening, you're also welcome to come and help us in our happy farm. Our monastery is open not only for short-term guests, but we also welcome a lot of long-term friends. You don't have to be monastics to live here in our community. So if you want to come and stay with us for 3 months or 1 year, please write to us. We are a very international community and we welcome everyone. So I think time is up.
Yes, that's right. Oh, it's getting a bit dark with me.
Yeah.
I really, really want to thank you for this great talk. And yeah, I really feel fresh and happy and calm after your talk. So yeah, thank you very much. And I also want to say to the people who are here, I want to invite you to give a donation via Dana, because all of the donations will go to Plum Village. So please donate. That would be very, very nice. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say in the end. Yes, wow. I think we're all very, very happy with this talk. So I can say for all that, thank you very much.
Thank you, Emmy, for hosting this evening, and thank you everyone for being together, for your time and for your practice, and happy continuation on the practice. A powerful
Will.
understanding.
Thank you.
How
Okay.
many nuns and monks living in the village? Okay, quickly. Right now, I think we're about 150. We vary somewhere between 150 and 200. We have 3 hamlets. We have one big monastery for monks, and we have 2 nunneries. And there are more nuns than monks. And yeah, so at maximum, we're about 200, but right now, I think we're down to about 150 because we change centers all the time. We have about 10 centers around the world in our tradition. Yeah, so we rotate.
Well, I would love to go there sometime.
Yes, please come and visit us
Yes.
sometime. I'm very happy to have you here.
Good to hear. Yes. Okay, then I will now finish this session. I will end it, and then we will all continue our way with all the beautiful things you said to us. We will take it in and take it with us.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you, and have a good evening, everyone.
Good evening.